Yep.
How do you turn it around from here with Fiji and Argentina to come?
Yeah, well, we're working. All the coaches and players were working very hard this coming week to play the periods of rugby we played from when you got 17-0 down after 12 minutes, and the way led by Jamie, the way the players played tough and worked so very, very hard for huge parts of that game. And ultimately, when we came here and scored 3 tries and another disallowed, those are the bits we want to extend. Those are the bits we want to play that for 80 minutes. Playing against the best team in the world, and it doesn't get much tougher than that. That, whilst it's a painful experience, we'll make sure for the long-term development of the team, it's an important development step for us.
Jamie, obviously the Boks are pretty formidable here and generally, but that's the team that you want to be compared with and compete with, isn't it, when we get to the next World Cup? Do you feel like after that you feel further away, or you've got more to work on than you thought?
No, like my takeaway from it is that there's a game of very fine margins. There are some clear things that we need to make sure we get better, and players we have to take a lot more responsibility with regards to our discipline, which let us down today. But outside of that, there were periods of that game where we put the Springboks under a lot of pressure. And I was speaking to their guys, like they know they've been in a test match. But what I think, I'm agreeing with Steve when he says, like, we are going to be a significantly better team off the back of this experience with a young team coming here, understanding how we put them under a lot of pressure, but also understanding how we then let that pressure get to us a little bit. So, as I said, this is going to be a great learning experience for us. We are gutted with the result because we genuinely believe that we could come here and win. But we're going to rally round, we're going to stay tight, and we're going to get better from the experience. And we're all excited about getting back to Liverpool and putting in a good performance against Fiji.
Steve, can I just check on George Furbank? What's the situation with him? Is he okay, firstly? And I assume he won't be available for another 2 now.
Yep. So he went into hospital yesterday evening with abdominal pain. He had surgery this morning on his appendix, and he is now still in hospital, obviously, and recovering. Spoke with him earlier on and exchanged messages with him. So he's doing well. Obviously disappointed, really gutted to miss the game. And yes, you're right with your prognosis for the next couple of weeks.
Is he able to fly back?
Not clear. We think not clear as I had it today, but we think he'll be delayed in South Africa to fly back at a later date. I think there was a couple critical contest episodes. One of them clearly being in the air, where South Africa did very well with their contestable kicking. Huge number of them, and one back ball that created opportunity for them. I think that was clear, and you got to credit South Africa with that. They do it very well, and then they force pressure upon the opposition. And once they get into the 22, they are, well, everyone knows they're very hard to stop in the opposition 22.
After you talked about discipline during the 6 nations, it was very disappointing to see another 2 yellow cards.
Yeah, I think clearly. I think if you look at that, I think the Tommy Freeman one was one where he'd want to lower his height. I think, unfortunately, we see those slight timing errors. I don't think you'd regard Tommy Freeman as trying to do anything malicious or reckless there. He's just trying to make the tackle, and he's clearly apologetic for tackling high. The Guy Pepper one, well, I think South Africa put players under pressure, because that's the way they play, and they're very good. And so then you want execution to be at an incredibly high level. You want decision making to be at a high level. Some young players will learn from this experience of playing against the best in the world. Then you've got to be very, very clear and very clinical.
Absolutely. I was incredibly impressed with the character that we showed. The start wasn't good enough. Going 17-0 down against Springboks at home is never going to be part of the plan. Equally then, the character that we showed and the way that we played from minute 10 to minute 40, I thought was the blueprint of how we wanted to play. And, I spoke earlier about the Springboks being under pressure at that stage. Like they were during that period. And, I've had a brief catch up with a couple of the guys that I know there, and they felt like they were under pressure. So, of course, we felt like the game was in the balance at that stage. We felt like there was a big swing of momentum with that. And, it was just disappointing then that we weren't able to capitalise on the momentum that we had.